Welcome to Whisperer of Madness. If you're enjoying the story, consider liking the video and subscribing. It really helps grow the channel and this community. Yang Chanyu, you've been eliminated as well, I see. Sun Lingtong asked, how are you? I'm not dead yet. I didn't expect Zhu Xuanji to be so formidable. In the recent battle, he must not have exerted his full strength. Mentioning Zhu Xuanji, Yang Chanyu felt a lingering fear. Such a strong person would be among the top Golden Core cultivators in the world. If it really came down to a fight, many of the Golden Core true disciples from Super Sects would fall to his hand. Sun Lingtong nodded, his face also very pale. He walked to the window and was astonished to see the multitude of flame demon beasts on the streets. I hadn't thought that the outside world had become so dire so quickly. Yang Chanyu. If things go wrong, the lava immortal palace might completely collapse and everyone will end up with nothing. Then, even escaping will be a problem. The reason Sun and Yang had been able to avoid detection by people like Zhu Xuanji was by taking advantage of the geographical benefits of the lava fairy palace. If the immortal palace no longer existed, they would be exposed amidst the volcanic lava, in the sights of nascent soul-level Meng Qi and golden core-level Zhu Xuanji. The outcome would be worrisome. Yang Chanyu, panting, stared at Sun Lingtong. I am really worried now. After so much effort, we might end up with nothing. Perhaps we should retreat first? Sun Lingtong shook his head. Ningzhu is still inside the secret pavilion of transition. Do you have that much confidence in him? Yang Chanyu raised an eyebrow. I don't believe that a mere qi refining cultivator has any cards up his sleeve that could turn the tables on Zhu Xuanji. To continue betting would be very unwise. Sun Lingtong, we should retreat. Sun Lingtong, using his hand as a pillow, chuckled. Hee, I trust little Zhuo. Haven't you noticed? He hasn't been eliminated yet. Only then did a slight change come over Yang Chanyu's expression. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I would never bet my life on a losing game. Sun Lingtong appeared full of confidence, but in reality he was deeply concerned. Little Zhuo, from now on, it's all up to you. Sun Lingtong sighed deeply in his heart. Secret pavilion of transition. Within the Guangjing formation, the official skill-locked country on Miss Rudy had been broken. After Mechanical Butterfly Girl regained her freedom, she lay on top of a block of ice, staring worriedly at the young cultivator within the ice. The young cultivator was Ningzhu. At the moment, his eyes were tightly closed, having temporarily lost consciousness, and he was in a comatose state. Previously, although Ningzhu had taken refuge in the Guangjing formation, he was still penetrated by the golden light that followed. Despite avoiding many lethal attacks thanks to the warning from his mechanical ring, but he had still fallen into unconsciousness due to the severe injuries in a short period. However, just before losing consciousness, Ningzhu managed to release a pair of mechanisms from his storage waist belt in a race against time. Floating ice jade hands. The floating ice jade hands, infused with the spiritual nature of Ningzio, and through an item passed down from her grandmother, Ningzhu had pushed their spiritual nature to its fullest potential. The floating ice jade hands performed the innate ice jade hands for Ningzhu. Ningzhu was then encased within a huge block of ice, undergoing emergency healing. What comforted Mechanical Butterfly Girl somewhat was that Ningzhu's breath was becoming more and more stable and strong. Floating ice jade hands remained suspended in midair, their palms tightly pressed against the upper end of the ice block, constantly maintaining innate talent. Suddenly, Ningzhu's eyelids trembled slightly. He regained consciousness and realized that he had just fallen into a coma and now found himself within the ice, being healed by the floating ice jade hands. The injuries are severe. Up to now, I have never suffered such serious injuries. However, it is precisely because I temporarily fell into a coma that I was deemed defeated in combat, which in turn tricked Zhu Xuanji, allowing my feigned death plan to succeed. Ningzhu's divine sense continuously radiated, permeating the ice block. Seeing Miss Rudy, the floating ice jade hands, and seeing the still-maintained Guangjing formation. In the palace exam, Ningzhu's name was entry-level standard, while Sun Lingtong bore the name Ningzhu. Sun Lingtong surrendered proactively and was eliminated. There was no longer Ningzhu on the palace exam list, but entry-level standard was still there. Supreme as water. At the critical moment, Ningzhu used the last 2 drops of Supreme as water he had left to remove the monitoring measures on himself. This was also one of the key actions that successfully misled Zhu Xuanji in the end. As expected of the water element merit treasure. Even though Ningzhu was in a coma at that time, he could still feel the utmost softness and benevolence of water. Water has no constant shape, yet it accommodates everything. When Ningzhu was cleansed, his heart was as tranquil as a clear, mirrored lake, as if he was effortlessly floating in flowing water. I was in a state of coma, without any fighting strength. The lava fairy palace did not rule me out. Was it because I released the floating ice jade hands and had Miss Rudy, and it was determined that I could recover? Or is it that the prohibitions of the lava fairy palace have weakened to the point where it could no longer teleport cultivators? The destruction of prohibitions is not a stage-by-stage process, clearly delineated between each stage. The prohibitions of the secret pavilion of transition have never been repaired since they were broken, and they keep deteriorating. It's just that there weren't as obvious effects as the precipitous decline when the Immortal Palace had been seriously damaged before. It was because of this concern that Ningzhu and Zhu Xuanji had to fight before. He was very worried that Sun Lingtong might actually die at the hands of Zhu Xuanji. Of course, at the beginning of the confrontation, Ningzhu also longed for victory on his side. After all, from a logistical perspective, Ningzhu's side had a 3-to-1 advantage, which was indeed favorable. Yet, to everyone's surprise, Zhu Xuanji turned out to be so fierce. I learned. Ningzhu engaged in profound reflection within the ice block. This is the power and effect of concealing one's talent. In some ways, isn't this defeat due to me not concealing my abilities as deeply as Zhu Xuanji? Mother was right. One should hide their capabilities and maintain a low profile. Look at Zhu Xuanji. Despite being a member of the royalty, a noble of golden branches and jade leaves, he could still hide so well. Publicly, he's a renowned divine hunter across the nation, yet he conceals divine skills like the golden mountain stance and jade pillar body. Compared to him, what is my concealed talent? What am I? If it weren't for the help of our leader, I would have really been eliminated this time. Ningzhu felt a chill of fear, took this fight as a caution, and decided to take Zhu Xuanji as a role model for the future, determined to emulate him well. Crack, crack. Cracks proliferated on the surface of the ice block, which then suddenly collapsed with a thunderous crash. Ningzhu regained his freedom, half kneeling on the ground, then slowly opened his eyes and gradually stood up amidst the debris of ice chunks. Miss Rudy cheered and jumped for joy. Ningzhu gave her a slight smile, then looked up above him. He silently activated his divine skills, and visible hanging threads appeared in his vision. So Ryushui didn't wash away the hanging threads after all. These threads were, of course, the life-hanging threads placed on the cultivators participating in the palace exam by the Lava Fairy Palace. Suddenly, Ningzhu's expression changed subtly, and he bent over and vomited some fresh blood. Among the blood, there were many ice chunks. In the ice chunks, there was blood, and also flashes of golden light. This was an attack inflicted by Zhu Xuanji, eroding Ningzhu's flesh and being frozen in ice, only to be finally expelled from his body. Even now, the golden light inside the ice chunks was still intensely sharp, making them dazzle painfully to the eye. After spitting out the ice chunks, Ningzhu took a deep breath and felt his condition fully recovered. Miss Rudy asked if they should dispel the Guangjing formation. She was beginning to feel exhausted. Ningzhu looked around, having already formulated a plan in his mind. He asked Miss Rudy to hold on for a little longer while he took out a cushion and sat down cross-legged to control his breathing. Soon, his breath became extremely steady. The youth's eyes were slightly closed, his pale skin casting a faint cold light amid the interlacing shadows. This is a great opportunity. Ningzhu made his decision and began the final sprint towards the foundation establishment stage. From his storage waist belt, he took out an array plate. This array plate was a magic artifact of the foundation establishment level and came from the Zhou family. Initially, Ningzhu had voluntarily contributed Night Wind soft iron, so Zhou Nanjiang personally spoke out and rewarded him with an array plate, which was this very item. The Zhou family was skilled at setting up arrays, and the array plate they provided was clearly superior to those available on the market. Even though Ning Zhu could set up a spirit-gathering formation himself, it was no match for this meticulously crafted array plate. Immediately, he channeled mana, causing the array plate to hover and fly above his head. The array plate began to rotate slowly, tracing out a three-dimensional array in midair, with tight and harmonious array patterns. Ning Zhuo then took out spirit stones and placed them in the many key positions of the array. The spirit stones began to deplete, transforming into spiritual power and filling the space within the array. Spiritual energy accumulated more and more, swiftly forming a mist. Ning Zhuo took a deep breath and started to cycle his cultivation technique. Lower Danshan, demon-infused bloodline technique. His essence blood was vigorous, and his blood qi surged wildly. For a moment his presence was overwhelming like a tumultuous tide, imposing and fierce. The blood qi condensed into blood vessels, appearing in large swaths and quickly covering all his flesh, resembling a net of fresh blood armor. More than just on the surface, within his body, the blood vessels spread throughout, protecting his internal organs and clinging to the depths of his bones. Ning Zhu exuded a terrifying demonic might. Middle Danshan, 5 elements qi regulation art. Ning Zhu exhaled and inhaled slowly, with 5-colored mana in his qi sea churning ceaselessly, creating a majestic atmosphere. The mana gradually expanded, reflecting a cycle of 5 colors around him, with tight and balanced laws. The young cultivator was full of immortal energy, with an extraordinary air. Upper Danshan, mirror stand spirit communication technique. Divine sea within him was vast, the divine sense condensed into numerous mirrors, reflecting light, illuminating all directions, scanning everywhere. Ning Zhu's face showed compassion, emanating a profound Buddhist aura. The rich spiritual energy was absorbed by Ning Zhu with all his might. The force of his absorption was so fierce, and the speed so rapid that it formed a vortex of spiritual energy. The vortex spun faster and faster, rapidly expanding and soon filling the entire inner space of the spirit-gathering formation. Ning Zhu, who was at the center of the spiritual energy vortex, was filled with spiritual energy throughout his body. His meridians, limbs, skull, and internal organs were all agitated by spiritual power. A transformation occurred in an instant. The lower Danshan suddenly changed, with the flow of blood qi. The first barrier of foundation establishment, the essence barrier, easily overcome as naturally as breathing. The middle Danshan then underwent a change, with gaseous mana condensing and compressing into a liquid state. Inside the qi sea, it seemed as if a fine rain had begun to fall. Each drop of rain was concentrated mana, more than 5 times densified. The second barrier of foundation establishment, the qi barrier, also surpassed, as if it were second nature. The upper Danshan's light expanded, transforming the surrounding area, altering heaven and earth. Divine sense vibrated intensely, easily transforming into divine consciousness. The third barrier of foundation establishment, the divine barrier, then surmounted, as effortlessly as when a channel leads to water. Having overcome all 3 barriers, the Danshan was forged. Remarkably, the 3 Danshans were harmonized, their breath as one. 3 superior sect techniques, 3 Danshan foundation establishment. At this moment the accomplishment was achieved. Clang, clang, clang. Suddenly the sound of a bell echoed throughout the lava fairy palace. The Dharma transmission bell. Why would it suddenly ring? All the cultivators were astonished. Could it be little Zhuo? Sun Lingtong had a premonition. 3 Danshan foundation establishment. He's done it, he's succeeded. The dragon turtle fire spirit shouted in the main hall, its expression panicked. It had thought that Ning Zhuo, being seriously injured, would remain weak for a long time and struggle to compete for the position of Immortal Palace Master. But unexpectedly, Ning Zhuo recovered so swiftly and seized this golden opportunity, initiating a qualitative breakthrough in his cultivation level. He had become a foundation establishment stage cultivator. The chimes of the Dharma transmission bell echoed in Ning Zhuo's mind. The contents of the foundation establishment chapter from the 3 superior sect techniques were imprinted within the upper Danshan of his divine sea. However, Ning Zhuo's main focus was not on the 3 superior sect techniques. He took a deep breath, relishing the wonderful sensations of the foundation establishment stage. Divine sense condensed and merged from divine thought, which could leave the body for scouting and controlling magic artifacts, among other things. Utilizing divine sense to operate mechanical artifacts was also one of the mainstream methods of mechanical manipulation. Within the Qi Sea, mana had liquefied, no longer the true Qi of the Qi refinement realm. As his cultivation level deepened over time, the mana stored in the Qi Sea would also increase. For now, having just completed his foundation establishment, Ningzhu's reserve of mana had already surpassed the peak of the Qi refinement realm. The storage limit had risen significantly, and the power of spells he cast accordingly saw a natural surge since they directly consumed the liquefied mana. In the Essence Sea, his blood Qi also expanded significantly and liquefied. During foundation establishment, the Essence Sea took on the task of washing marrow, enhancing the essence of his physical body. Even without using mana, he possessed the strength of 1,000 pounds and speed comparable to a galloping horse, breaking free from human limitations. More importantly, each of Ningzhu's breaths had the effect of breathing from the Qi refinement realm. His flesh was even more adapted to absorbing spiritual energy. This led to one outcome: he could abstain from grain. After his body's sublimation, Ningzhu could sustain himself by absorbing spiritual energy without the need for food. Eating ordinary food would accumulate impurities in his body, which would hinder his cultivation, so from now on, it was best to only consume spirit food. There's also lifespan. The lifespan of a cultivator who successfully establishes their foundation will increase by 200 to 300 years. I need to calculate exactly how much my lifespan has increased, but with the 3 superior sect techniques, the amount of increase will certainly be substantial. Ningzhu moved his body around. His foundation was so robust that breaking through to the foundation establishment stage was almost effortless. Instead of feeling a decline in condition after his breakthrough, he basked in a strong sense of comfort, as if every inch of his body had been thoroughly purified by spiritual energy. The tremendous boost in strength made him feel incredibly powerful. His 5 senses became sharper, especially his perception of spiritual energy, which was incomparable to the Qi refinement realm. Ningzhu was eager to test his own strength. For the first time in history, he felt profoundly powerful. But soon, he shook his head slightly, reminding himself that this was just the initial advancement to the foundation establishment stage, and the sensation of empowerment was merely an illusion. Ningzhu thought back to Zhu Xuanji's dauntless figure in battle, and the floating sensation in his heart vanished instantly. He was well aware that, despite his rise to the foundation establishment stage, he was still no match for Zhu Xuanji. Zhu Xuanji, in the previous battle, displayed 3 divine skills that seemed invincible. Perhaps, Zheng Danlian's Night Rain demon weapon might stand a chance. Maybe I can use the divine power life hanging thread to try to plant it onto Zhu Xuanji and control him. Ningzhu had mastered the complete divine skill. Previously, in the Qi refinement realm, he had sensed through divine skills that once he advanced to the foundation establishment stage, he would be able to influence beings at the golden core level. This was not surprising. Divine skills and innate abilities contain Tao and logic that inherently enable cultivators to challenge beyond their level. But now, after witnessing Zhu Xuanji's strength, Ningzhu began to doubt. Could the divine power life hanging thread really handle Zhu Xuanji? Even if it were successfully implanted, to what extent could it be activated, and how much would it affect him? To take on Zhu Xuanji alone would be extremely difficult. Fortunately, seizing the position of Immortal Puppet Master doesn't necessarily mean I have to eliminate all competitors. Besides, I am now hidden in the shadows, able to bide my time and let Zhu Xuanji and the others fiercely compete and draw on each other's strength. As long as I haven't been eliminated, there's still hope. Even if the hope is slim, I won't give up. Ningzhu's gaze was resolute. This determination, he had Zhu Xuanji to thank for. It was the experience in Siyu Garden that solidified Ningzhu's conviction to fight. Miss Rudy, hold on for just a bit longer. After giving a word of care, he immediately started to repair the golden core-level mechanical monkey. There was also the netherworld envoy, Qi Bai. The mechanical monkey had sustained devastating internal damage, and although its exterior had many fist and palm marks, it was relatively intact. Ningzhu took out some previously replaced mechanical parts and skillfully installed them. These components, obtained from the trials, were originally a set with the golden core-level mechanical monkey. When restoration was successful, the mechanical monkey regained its combat strength. It's regrettable that the golden blood battle ape, Dasheng, remains in Boss Sun's hands. If it were inhabited by Yuan Dasheng's spirit, it would save me a lot of effort in operating the mechanical monkey. As for the Netherworld envoy, Chi Bai, its injuries were severe. In the previous battle, it was cleaved in two by Zhu Xuanji's diagonal palm strike. After inspecting, Ning Zhu immediately decided on an emergency repair plan. He would use the desired materials to first meld its two halves together. Then, using the floating ice jade hands, he would deploy the innate ice jade hands to unreasonably and reasonably perfect the repairs of the Netherworld envoy, Chi Bai. This greatly saved Ning Zhu's energy and time. Clank, clack, bang. The sounds of machinery resonated once more. The secret pavilion of transition, after undergoing the previous significant transition, with cultivators having breached 36 mechanical secret pavilions, triggered another mechanism. This time it was a minor transition. Cultivators who were not far from one another found their distances extended due to the minor transition. The dragon turtle fire spirit had long awaited this moment, and as soon as the turn of fate ended, it would immediately transmit a message to Meng Chong, informing him of the most accurate path, allowing him to be the first to break out and enter the main hall of the Immortal Palace. Lava Fairy Palace. While the Mana Power Hand and the three nascent soul-level flame demon beasts were entangled, a five-tailed fire fox suddenly appeared. The fire fox's size was like that of a small dog, inconspicuous amid the roaring flames. Only when it suddenly cast a spell did it reveal the intense presence of a nascent soul-level beast. Its mouth shut tight, five tails swaying behind, the ends of the tails like brushes painting mysterious talismans in the air. The talismans immediately dissipated, the sea of flames surged, and tongues of fire interweaved in the air, condensing into huge fireballs the size of hills. The fireballs exploded into the midst of Lava Fairy Palace. Boom, boom, boom. The scorching flames ravaged the palace, explosions causing the Immortal Palace to tremble repeatedly, and countless mechanical artifacts were burned in the sea of fire. The flames even spread to the main hall. Amid the intense burning, countless mechanical blocks shot skyward. These mechanical blocks, each large as a house, were connected to one another by purplish-green electrical currents. The once normal space changed with the appearance of the mechanical blocks. The rampaging flames were temporarily blocked by the chaotic space created by the mechanical blocks. Is that the secret pavilion of transition? The cultivators who witnessed this scene cried out in astonishment upon realizing what they saw. Atop Persimmon Mountain Peak, high amongst the clouds. Seeing this, Meng Hu abruptly stood upright, his tiger eyes fixated on the five-tailed fire fox. Sensing something, the fire fox lifted its head to glance at the sky, looking tense. Its petite figure quickly became blurry in the sea of fire, diving into the magma below and disappearing from sight. Meng Hui snorted coldly, his expression darkening. Persimmon Fire Mountain was not devoid of demon beasts like fire foxes, but these beasts were few, their living space entirely occupied by creatures like the magma demon ape, runaway fire snake, flame-stepping lizard, and others. How could such a small scale of demon beasts possibly produce a nascent soul-level five-tailed fire fox? Meng Hui calculated with his fingers. It's definitely taking palace. He immediately figured out the precise direction and signaled Meng Hu to move. Upon receiving the order, Meng Hu let out a howl, bursting through the clouds like a shooting star, fiercely striking a part of the mountainside a mile away. The small mountain trembled violently, dust billowed, and nearly got broken in half. A streak of blue light soared up, revealing a young cultivator with beastly patterns on his face. "Demon Path Thief, I've been tracking you all the way," Meng Hu shouted. The young cultivator's eyes twitched. He was a beast-taming cultivator who had just controlled his spirit pet, the five-tailed fire fox, to severely ambush the Lava Fairy Palace. He hadn't expected to be caught by Meng Hu so soon while still reveling in his success. "I am from taking." The young cultivator was about to state his identity when he was abruptly interrupted by Meng Hu's shout. Meng Hu charged at him with ferocity. The young cultivator could only continually retreat, releasing various demon beasts from his beast bag to defend himself. Lava Fairy Palace. Central Main Hall. As the secret pavilion of transition was forced into action and had to resist the burning of the sea of fire, the related prohibitions weakened significantly once more. Inside the pavilion, Zhu Xuanji and the others had their cultivation levels restored to the golden core level. Moreover, their divine senses spread out, penetrating the pavilion they were in, allowing them to observe the outside world to varying degrees. Cultivators with high spirit sensitivity quickly used spells to detect that the communication between inside and outside became smooth. Cultivators at the Qi refinement realm and foundation establishment stage, as long as they dodged the purplish-green electrical currents, could even enter these secret pavilions. Zhu Xuanji, with his divine sense sweeping far and wide, pinpointed the exact location of the Meng family cultivators and Zheng Danlian. A golden core body cultivator from the Meng family pushed Meng Chong. "Young Master Meng Chong, follow your grandfather's plan and go first. I'll hold off Zhu Xuanji." His expression was solemn as he actively moved toward the secret pavilion where Zhu Xuanji was. At the same time, Zheng Danlian also rushed towards Zhu Xuanji. Without looking back, Meng Chong burst through a doorway, following the tip from the dragon turtle fire spirit, heading straight for the correct exit. Zhu Xuanji's divine sense penetrated the pavilion, covering a vast area, sensing Meng Chong's movements, and immediately set off to intercept. Zhu Zhen's voice suddenly came through. "Brother, following your instructions, I fortunately excavated some bricks and stones from the ruins of the golden furnace. I have retrieved some of the materials and can assure you that they come from the number 3 golden furnace. Do you need them passed over to you?" Zhu Xuanji pondered briefly. "Send them over." The next moment, both cast a spell simultaneously. Official skill, official transfer. The pile of waste in Zhu Zhen's hands vanished and reappeared in Zhu Xuanji's hands. Clutching the pile of waste, Zhu Xuanji's eyes flickered with a golden sharpness, extraordinarily piercing. Innate golden eyes. Spell trace back. In the next moment, Zhu Xuanji saw a past scene of furnace number 3. The doors of the furnace were wide open, and a mysterious cultivator stood before it, holding a sickle, tossing the corpses of demon beasts and cultivators into the furnace. There were so many corpses that even Zhu Xuanji narrowed his eyes slightly. The headless body of a cultivator was taken out of a hidden corpse bag. A jade ring slipped from his finger and fell onto the floor tiles. The mysterious cultivator moved his wrist lightly, threaded the sickle handle with the jade ring magic artifact, then raised his arm and inserted the handle into the golden furnace. The corpses in the furnace were nearly filling it up, but space was squeezed out after the compression from the sickle handle. When the mysterious cultivator retracted the handle, the jade ring magic artifact at the end was gone, left inside the golden furnace. It wasn't just this artifact. Zhu Xuanji had seen that many of the cultivator's magic artifacts and vestment robes had not been removed, and were stuffed into the furnace altogether. Finally, the mysterious cultivator also placed the sickle in his hands into the golden furnace. The fire ignited. The golden furnace burned fiercely, undergoing an exhausting refining. The refining ended quickly, the flames extinguished, and the furnace was covered with pitch-black cracks. In the next moment, the golden furnace shattered. A mechanical giant snake emerged from the rubble and dust, raising its massive head. It affectionately slithered toward the mysterious cultivator, who lifted his head and caressed the giant snake's head. "It's the night rain demon soldiers of Zheng Danlian." Zhu Xuanji's heart shook greatly. "Then who is this mysterious cultivator?" Gold light burst forth from his eyes, increasingly powerful to the extreme. The blurry appearance of the mysterious cultivator gradually dissolved, leaving only a rough human silhouette, and within it, a huge purple mark appeared. The purple mark, shaped like a sea cucumber, emitted a strange purple light. Meanwhile, the mark was plump, with countless raised dots on its surface, resembling the greasy body of an insect or newly grown tentacles. A strong sense of purple radiated forth, actually eroding back into Zhu Xuanji's eyes. Zhu Xuanji hurriedly closed his eyes, with gold light overflowing from beneath his eyelids. After some effort, he managed to dissolve the slight purple intent in his eyes. Reopening his eyes, Zhu Xuanji's expression had slightly changed. "Who is this mysterious cultivator? Could it be Zheng Danlian?" Zhu Xuanji immediately recalled the conversation he had had with Zheng Xuangu. "It was about 8 years ago, when my cousin entered the Immortal Palace, that he killed a foundation establishment cultivator. At that time, the Foundation establishment cultivator, wielding a mechanical sickle, was slashing and killing innocent cultivators like a madman. My cousin couldn't stand by and watch. He upheld justice, struck him down on the spot, and thus obtained both a damaged mechanism demon soldier and a complete mechanical diagram. Zhu Xuanji had already seen that mechanical diagram and could not comprehend the construction of the Night Rain demon soldiers. However, relying on the mechanical diagram, following it step by step, it was indeed possible to refine such Night Rain demon soldiers. The mechanical sickle refined from the golden furnace must be the one in Zheng Danlian's hands. It was once complete, so why did it later become damaged? What happened? Is it really as Zheng Xuangu said? Or is this just a well-arranged play by the Zheng family, and in fact, they had already refined this mechanical sickle long ago? Zhu Xuanji did not continue to deduce further. He lacked more information. He had discovered an important clue, but what followed was an even greater enigma. Zhu Xuanji started to run, dashing through the secret pavilion. He had now recovered to golden core level. The arrangements within the secret pavilion were not worth mentioning, easily swept aside by him. In the past, Zhu Xuanji might have alerted Zheng Danlian, but now he would not do so. It seems, from the consequences of the refinement in the golden furnace, that this Night Rain demon soldiers are quite evil in nature, capable of devouring other bodies to enhance itself. Perhaps, the Night Rain demon soldiers later refined by Zheng Danlian also became more powerful after slaying many enemies. Under my golden eyes, the mysterious cultivator still hid his true face, only revealing a purple mark. The purple mark is no simple matter. What exactly is its origin for it to erode my golden eyes? Fortunately, it was only a few traces of purple intent. Just then, Song Fury suddenly appeared within the range of Zhu Xuanji's divine sense. Song Fury quickly approached Zhu Xuanji. Separated by several secret pavilions, Zhu Xuanji communicated through divine sense. Song Fury, stop there. If you proceed further, I will take you for an enemy and deal with you accordingly. Song Fury hurriedly said, Lord Zhu, I am a friend, not a foe. The Night Rain demon soldiers are too ferocious. I bring with me first-hand intelligence. All I want to understand is where Sun Lingtong is. He's the one who stole my treasure, and I want to recover what was taken from me. Zhu Xuanji received Song Fury's intelligence, advising him that Miss Rudy had already appeared and released the Guangjing formation. But now there had been a slight change in circumstance, and Zhu Xuanji was unclear about which secret pavilion the previous battle had taken place in. His divine sense expanded outward, covering many cube-shaped secret pavilions, but could only sense the presence of cultivators inside them, without penetrating them. Those like Song Fury who had concealed their aura had eluded Zhu Xuanji's detection before. It was only when Song Fury exposed himself that Zhu Xuanji immediately noticed. The vision of the dragon turtle fire spirit differed from that of the cultivators. It could clearly observe the inside of the secret pavilion of transition as if looking into a blazing fire, knowing it like the back of its hand. Ning Zhu has made a move. He's heading straight for Meng Chong. Damn it, damn it. The dragon turtle fire spirit was extremely tense. Its speech sped up, urging Meng Chong to charge even faster. If it was divine sense, it couldn't extend outward. Qi refining cultivators reading through a jade slip had to press the slip against their foreheads. But now, Ning Zhu had advanced to the foundation establishment stage and acquired divine sense, naturally allowing him to observe the external situation. The golden core body cultivator of the Meng family and Zheng Danlian formally converged. Song Fury distanced himself from Zhu Xuanji, signifying his stance. Zhu Xuanji headed straight for the golden core body cultivator of the Meng family and Zheng Danlian. Meanwhile, under the cover of the cloud-concealed bud, Ning Zhu pursued Meng Chong with all his might. Electric light swirled around, emitting a buzzing sound. This time, the sound of mechanisms was absent. After the secret pavilion of transition was activated, it created a universe path barrier for the main hall, which also affected the minor transition mechanisms. The second minor transition came sooner than the first. 36 steps were not enough. Song Fury, Ning Zhu, and Meng Chong rushed forward, using up most of their allotted distances. Zhu Xuanji, the golden core body cultivator of the Meng family, and Zheng Danlian were just one room away from an encounter. The second minor transition once again pulled everyone apart. Just 3 more secret pavilions to go, the dragon turtle fire spirit lamented, punching the throne in frustration. Whack, whack, whack. The flames from the whip behind it moved so fast that they created a visual echo of the whip's motion. The dragon turtle fire spirit's ferocity was provoked. It clenched its teeth hard, flames shot from its eyes, but it kept silent. Outside Fire Persimmon Mountain. Menghu, don't push people too far, a nascent soul cultivator from Taking Palace cursed. With that, he took out a shield. The shield was thin, yet eerily it withstood a powerful blow from Menghu. Recognizing the familiar pattern, Menghu exclaimed in surprise, "Night Rain Demon Soldiers." The Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator sneered, "This is the Fate Shield. If you can break it, I'll withdraw without complaint." Menghu, incited to win, attacked with full force. Yet no matter how he attacked, he simply couldn't break the thin shield. Instead, he was covered in purple wounds. These were the retaliation injuries from the Fate Shield. Well, the Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator asked, smirking with pride. Nothing. Menghu spat out a mouthful of blood and charged again. The Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator's face darkened, and he had no choice but to send a message out. The Meng family is determined to take the Lava Fairy Palace and has secretly dispatched Menghu for support. They shed all pretense, ignoring my explanations, truly wishing to exclude Taking Palace. Such hurried actions further indicate that the competition for the Lava Fairy Palace has reached its final stage. All of you enter the Immortal Palace and strive with all your might for the position of Palace Master. There were 5 from Taking Palace on this expedition. Aside from the nascent soul cultivator, there were also 2 golden core cultivators and 2 foundation establishment followers of the golden core cultivators. Upon hearing their leader's command, the 2 golden core cultivators from Taking Palace immediately took action. They both took out black garments, put them on, and disguised themselves as 2 black shadow demon cultivators. The 2 concealed their forms and rushed toward the Lava Fairy Palace. In the inner circle of the Lava Fairy Palace, flame demon beasts swarmed in groups, like floodwaters breaking through a dike, and breached multiple gaps. The cultivators suffered heavy casualties but still resisted with all their might. Sun Lingtong was unconcerned about these events. He had discovered the latest news. Restrictions in the secret pavilion of transition had weakened significantly, allowing qi refinement and foundation establishment cultivators to enter. I must return. Gritting his teeth, Sun Lingtong's gaze was resolute. Yang Chanyu looked at him in surprise. Have you lost your mind? The battle lines are collapsing. Many golden core cultivators are moving about in the inner circle. If we reveal ourselves, we will undoubtedly be besieged. You have already been eliminated, why go back? Sun Lingtong shook his head. I have to go back. Yang Chanyu, take care of yourself. If things look bad, you should retreat first. After saying this, Sun Lingtong disappeared from sight, stealthily heading toward the Immortal Palace main hall. HMPH, wait. Yang Chanyu stopped him. Having fought to this point, I'll return with you. What? Sun Lingtong looked surprised. Yang Chanyu snorted, don't use the invisibility technique. Once you're found out, it's very easy to fall into a desperate situation. Use this instead. Sun Lingtong saw what Yang Chanyu took out and immediately gave a thumbs up. Great idea. Both disguised themselves with the garments, becoming 2 black shadow demon cultivators at another location. Cousin, I'm taking action. I entrust the Zhou family cultivators to you. Zhou Nanjiang transmitted a message. The golden core ancestor of the Zhou family nodded slightly. You can go without worry. So Zhou Nanjiang pulled out a set of black garments, dressed himself, and became a black shadow demon cultivator. Sometimes, playing the role of a sinister outsider was the most convenient. A righteous path identity at many critical moments, instead, seemed to hinder more than help. Finally, it's my turn to make an entrance. Luo Shang boldly charged into the Lava Fairy Palace. In front of his golden core level ghost general, a clear gap was cut through the demon beast tide. Luo Shang took the opportunity to enter the inner circle of the Immortal Palace. Then, he saw nearly 10 black shadow demon cultivators, one after another, taking the stage. What's going on? Luo Shang was startled. Has pretending to be a black shadow demon cultivator become a trend now? Flame demon beasts converged like a tide, piling up layer upon layer, continuously landing at the Lava Fairy Palace, launching a frenzied siege on the inner circle of the Immortal Palace. The Fire Persimmon Mountain trembled from time to time. These were aftershocks from a major eruption. Above the mountaintop, smoke and dust billowed. The lava demon heads that were once densely scattered in the sky had now resubmerged into the magma. This was because the clashes at the nascent soul level were repeatedly taking place in midair, and the aftermath of each strike was more than these lava demon heads could withstand. Meng Qi wielded his mana power hand, advancing and retreating, cooperating closely with each other, and entangled with the runaway fire snake, flame-stepping lizard, and the magma demon ape, 3 nascent soul-level demon beasts. Meng Qi held back his strength, continuously probing for the 5-tailed fire fox hidden amongst the herd of demon beasts. This fire fox was clearly a nascent soul-level beast taming cultivator from the Taking Palace, far more intelligent than the wild demon beasts. It posed a greater threat than the 3 flame nascent soul demon beasts. Several miles away from the fire persimmon mountain, Meng Hu kept ramming, fighting fiercely with the Taking Palace nascent soul cultivator. The Taking cultivator was proficient at taming beasts, but since his main demon beast was still at the entrance of the fire persimmon mountain, this meant he could only defend, making it hard to go on the offensive. Fortunately, he wielded the Fate Shield, combining defense and offense, staunchly guarding his post, causing great discomfort to Meng Hu, temporarily unable to shake his position. Inside the Lava Fairy Palace, the prohibition weakened, and even golden core cultivators without expertise in mechanisms could now enter and exit the Immortal Palace. For a moment, more than 10 golden cores emerged from various places. Their target was almost unanimous, the Immortal Palace main hall. Most of them were dressed in black robes, looking very similar. Black Shadow Demon cultivators. Inside the Lava Fairy Palace, there were originally fewer golden core cultivators, making it difficult to withstand so many Black Shadow Demon cultivators. In fact, there were many from the righteous path who played the role of Black Shadow Demon cultivators. Knowing they were their own people, they naturally let them through during interceptions. Thereby, a large number of golden core cultivators directly rushed to the vicinity of the main hall. They couldn't enter. They were all blocked by the secret pavilion of transition, where purple-green lightning coursed between various secret pavilion cubes, connecting and intertwining into an all-encompassing electric net. The attacks from the golden core cultivators, upon hitting the electric net, were swallowed up by the purple-green lightning and re-emerged outside the Lava Fairy Palace, amidst the countless hordes of flame demon beasts. Sun Lingtong suddenly leaped, directly jumping into the purple-green electric net. The next moment, the current engulfed him. When Sun Lingtong came to his senses, he was already carried by the lightning into one of the secret pavilions. Many golden core cultivators witnessed this scene. Some wanted to emulate him, but their golden core level cultivation became the biggest impediment. Only if at the Qi refinement realm or foundation establishment level, there was a possibility of entering. At this moment, many golden core cultivators even wished they could subject themselves to the prohibition, suppressing their cultivation to the foundation establishment level. They tried repeatedly, using various methods, but all failed. Ning Jiufan, Zhou Nanjiang, and Zheng Xuangu were protecting the lower-level cultivators of their respective families, arriving around the main hall. Clan leader Ning Zhuo, we're here to help you. Ning Xianguo, Ning Xianqian, Ning Chen, Ning Yang, and others jumped together, transported by the electric current into the secret pavilion. The Lava Fairy Palace is too damaged, the prohibitions weakened. Perhaps even we, the eliminated trial disciples, could still become the palace master if we sit on the throne. Filled with hope, Zhou Zhu, Zhou Zeshan, and others also took action one after another. Among the crowd of the Ning family, Ning Zioren, with his head down and wearing a hood, decided to take a risk. He was investigated for colluding with outsiders, which heavily impacted his status and prospects within the family. More importantly, he had been sacrificially abandoned by the Ning family clan leader. Therefore, Ning Zioren and his father parted ways bitterly. Everything was up to himself. He resolutely leaped, entering the mechanical secret pavilion. Zio Hui, you're here, right? Don't be afraid, Grandma's coming to find you. Ning Zio Hui's grandmother muttered to herself, burrowing into the secret pavilion. Under the escort of several golden core cultivators from the Meng family, Li Duolun, Feng Feidao, and Guan Taisuo led the renovation team, all entering the secret pavilion of transition. Disguising with the turtle's shell, someone sneaked in stealthily. After several failed attempts, a black shadow demon cultivator suddenly made his move. He didn't attack the secret pavilion of transition again, but instead targeted the lower-level cultivators preparing to enter the secret pavilion. "I can't get in, and you low-level cultivators can," he growled. His fury-laden attack was blocked by the golden core cultivators, already on guard. "Demon Path scoundrel should be executed." Righteous Path cultivators roared in anger, counterattacking directly. The rest of the cultivators quickly distanced themselves. During this process, several golden core cultivators successively attacked their nearby comrades. 2 golden core cultivators from Taking Palace, disguised as black shadow demon cultivators, attacked Zheng Xuangu together. Zhou Nanjiang, who was pretending to be a black shadow demon cultivator, also attacked him. Traitors are often more hateful than enemies, as one feels internally. Zheng Xuangu wielded a sun hook in his hand, facing the onslaught from 3 same-level opponents alone, couldn't help but complain bitterly, steadily being pushed back. His divine sense caught Ning Jiufan, and he quickly sent a telepathic message. "Brother Ning, name your price. Could you return my moon hook?" It turned out that he had earlier used the moon hook to stab Ning Jiufan in the secret pavilion of transition. Taking advantage of the situation, Ning Jiufan suppressed the moon hook and dragged the nearby Zheng Xuangu down with him during the final struggle, eliminating them both. After they teleported back, they each returned to their original positions. Zheng Xuangu wanted to retrieve the moon hook, but before he could take action, dramatic changes forced him to protect the lower-ranking cultivators of the Zheng family and head towards the secret pavilion of transition. Even though everyone knew that the prohibition within the secret pavilion of transition could no longer hold back cultivation levels, and cultivators like Zhu Xuanji had already recovered to golden core level, the lower-ranking cultivators were far from a match for them. But the mechanism for victory was to break out of the secret pavilion and enter the main hall. Since the 3 major families had fought to this extent, they naturally would not shrink back at the last crucial moment. Once these family cultivators occupied the various secret pavilions of transition, first-hand intelligence would be sent out. If the prohibition were to completely collapse, even cultivators without the qualifications for the palace trial could, by chance, enter the main hall and ascend the throne. There was the possibility of stealing the position of palace master. Considering this, the city lord's mansion naturally thought the same. The isolated golden core cultivators from outside who had figured out this layer began to act against these lower-ranking cultivators, not merely out of a desire to vent their anger but from consideration of their own interests. In no time, golden core cultivators surrounded the main hall, clashing with one another. Various magic artifacts, magic treasures, and spells were deployed in succession, each one dazzling. Some cultivators, after a brief struggle, actively withdrew from the battle and headed to various places in the Lava Fairy Palace, where the prohibitions were absent or weak, to begin a thorough search for loot. Some cultivators, with clear objectives, continued to relentlessly attack the secret pavilion of transition, attempting to create a path directly into the main hall. Others carried heavy responsibilities. For instance, the 2 golden core true inheritors from the Taking Palace fought increasingly fiercely, with a chilling killing intent, ruthlessly targeting Zheng Xuangu. Zhou Nanjiang mixed in for a little while before withdrawing on her own. The intensity of the battle between Zheng Xuangu and the double golden core cultivators from the Taking Palace soared rapidly. Zhou Nanjiang found it increasingly difficult to keep up and was unwilling to commit to and take on excessive risks, so she evacuated first. "How lively! I like this, ha ha ha." Luo Shang also made his way into the Immortal Palace, but instead of joining the large inner circle battle, he continuously struck at the flame demon beasts. He slaughtered countless beasts and harvested numerous demon souls. For the soul-devouring sect, these souls are one of the best resources for cultivation. Luo Shang kept an eye on the Golden Core cultivators' battle groups in secret, ready to lend a hand to send someone to their death if their situation turned dire, thus obtaining the souls of human clan cultivators. Shazhang Jun used mana to consolidate his lower body. Without time to heal, he launched fierce attacks on the demon beasts. The Meng family had the most golden core cultivators, and at this moment, they became the backbone, desperately resisting the assaults of the demon beast tide from all directions. The Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core true inheritor had lost an arm. Although disqualified, he still ferociously attacked the secret pavilion of transition, clinging to the last thread of hope. Yang Chanyu hid in the shadows, not making a move. She was seriously injured and chose to prioritize healing before joining the battle. Battles were everywhere. Between demon beasts and cultivators, they all contested sharply. Months after the Lava Fairy Palace was blasted open, today the struggle for the palace reached its most intense stage. Inside the secret pavilion of transition, cultivators like Zhu Xuanji furrowed their brows. A large influx of lower-ranking cultivators into each secret pavilion greatly reduced the effectiveness of their divine sense surveillance. Golden Core cultivators just needed to conceal and disguise their aura, reaching Qi refinement or foundation establishment level, and they could blend in with the crowd. Meng Chang! Clan leader Ning Zhu kept a close watch on Meng Chang's position, quickly traversing one pavilion after another, determinedly pursuing him. He utilized the cloud-concealed bud to hide his form, and even when he came across Ning Yang midway, he did not reveal himself. Each time he pushed open a door, there would be an opening. However, even if someone discovered him, it did not matter. Right now, he couldn't care about these things. Allowing Meng Chang to enter the main hall would be the worst outcome. Damn it, damn it! The dragon turtle fire spirit watched Ning Zhu getting increasingly closer to Meng Chang and was so angry it gnashed its teeth helplessly. The prohibitions of the Lava Fairy Palace had greatly weakened, yet it was still restrained and hardly any freer than before. Elsewhere, Zhu Zhen once again contacted Zhu Xuanji. Cousin, my condensation is successful. What I have here is a relic from Golden Furnace number 4. Do you still need it? Send it over, Zhu Xuanji replied while on the move. Official skill, official transfer. In the next moment, Zhu Xuanji held the scrap in his hand and activated his innate. The mysterious cultivator with purple streaks of light appeared once again before Zhu Xuanji's eyes. He seemed seriously injured, stepping with difficulty as if bearing 1,000-pound weight, moving with great effort. Finally, he arrived at Golden Furnace number 4 and opened it. He plunged directly inside. Flames rose, and silence filled the Golden Furnace. As the flames gradually died down, a figure descended from above and alighted in front of the Golden Furnace. The furnace collapsed, and amidst the ashes, a ball of spiritual nature, like a swallow returning to its nest, entered into the figure that had descended. The figure was originally stiff, but as it received the spiritual nature, it became lively. As the figure moved its hands and feet and observed itself, the hooded cloak that had been concealing him shifted with his movements, revealing his real face to Zhu Xuanji. It turned out to be a Buddhist physician. Zhu Xuanji frowned deeply. Within the Lava Fairy Palace, there are 3 golden core mechanism puppets, respectively the Demon General, Taoist Master, and the Buddhist Physician. The Taoist Master always remained within the Immortal Palace. The Demon General was damaged and abandoned outside, eventually acquired by Zhu Xuanji, repaired, and turned over, returning to the Lava Fairy Palace. Only the whereabouts of the Buddhist Physician was unknown. Now Zhu Xuanji had found clues about the Buddhist Physician. It's already in someone else's possession. Who could it be? The mystery deepened. Zhu Xuanji had originally thought that he could continue to find clues about the mechanical sickle from the number 4 Golden Furnace. If he could discover its flaws, that would be even better. But he found nothing. The situation was tense and didn't allow him to ponder minutely. Zhu Xuanji could only memorize this clue and advance with all his might. The secret pavilion of transition shook once again. The sound of electricity hummed. The second transition had already occurred, and this change was the Great Transition. Small transitions widened the gap between the cultivators competing in the trial, while large transitions did the opposite, increasing the likelihood of collisions between cultivators. Zhu Xuanji, the Meng family's golden core body cultivator bellowed. Where do you think you're running off to? Zheng Danlian revealed a twisted smile. Why keep avoiding battle? Zhu Xuanji snorted coldly. He was not afraid of battle, but had seen through the schemes of the city lord's mansion. On one hand, they wanted to use Zheng Danlian and the Meng family's golden core body cultivator to hold Zhu Xuanji back, while on the other, they aimed to give Meng Chang more steps to increase his chances of breaking out of the secret pavilion of transition. After all, each transition left everyone with only 36 steps. Zhu Xuanji retreated, continuing the battle tactics he had used before. Behind him, the two pursuers, Meng and Zheng, closely followed, greatly slowing down Zhu Xuanji's speed. Well then, it might be good to eliminate the two of you first. Zhu Xuanji turned around, expressionless, and took the initiative to confront Meng and Zheng. Zheng Danlian laughed indulgently. Like this, isn't it much better, Lord Zhu? He wielded his sickle and slashed viciously. At the same time, the Meng family's golden core body cultivator attacked from the left, his fist piercing through the air, powerful and heavy, carrying a terrifying force. Boom! After the intense collision, Zheng Danlian and the Meng family's golden core body cultivator spurted blood and were sent flying backward. The two quickly adjusted their postures and landed on the ground. They saw that Zhu Xuanji was enveloped in the Golden Mountain mysterious light, with a forest of golden branches and jade leaves on the mountain, swaying charmingly and tinkling. 3 divine skills. Golden Mountain stance, jade pillar body. This is outrageous. Aren't you a divine hunter? Zheng Danlian and the Meng family's golden core body cultivator called out in shock one after another. Zhu Xuanji, expressionless, clenched his fists and initiated his attack. Boom, boom, boom. The clash of golden core level combatants caused the pavilion that served as their battlefield to shake continuously, the magnitude increasing bit by bit, practically going wild. The dragon turtle fire spirit was directing Meng Chong. After the great transition, he excitedly discovered that Meng Chong was not far from the exit. The door on the left. The door straight ahead. The door above your head. Under the direction of the dragon turtle fire spirit, Meng Chong finally arrived at a secret pavilion. Apart from the door through which Meng Chong had entered, there was only one other door. A massive door. The door was covered with numerous wooden blocks, interlocked with each other, all framed within the door. Each block was inscribed with characters. The dragon turtle fire spirit continued to transmit messages. Use these characters to piece together a correct 5 elements chi regulation art, and you'll be able to open the great door and leave the secret pavilion of transition. Meng Chong was overjoyed and eagerly ran to the door. The next moment, the dragon turtle fire spirit transmitted another message. Be careful, the enemy has arrived. Meng Chong immediately sensed something, turned sharply, and saw the small door he had come through being pushed open and then closed again. Who is it? A coward hiding his presence? Meng Chong cast a spell, immediately covering the range around the door. Normally, Ningxiu could dodge the spell's attack, but Meng Chong, while casting the spell, also combined it with the immortal talent Frenzied Rushing Thunder. This increased the speed of his spellcasting, catching Ningxiu off guard. Ningxiu chuckled lightly, enduring the spell and revealing himself. Ningxiu. Meng Chong was surprised. He thought it would be Sun Lingtong. You've come back here, you can't accept it, can you? But if I were you, I'd do the same. Meng Chong nodded. Then his eyes revealed a ferocious glint. However, if you think that you can stop me, you're purely dreaming. Stay aside obediently. This is not a stage for the second round of palace trials. As he spoke, he clenched his fist and raised it towards Ningxiu. The fist was twined with electricity, ready to unleash the immortal talent Frenzied Rushing Thunder. Ningxiu smiled, stepped forward on his own initiative, and simply said, "Let's fight." Meng Chong laughed heartily. Then I'll finish you off within 10 breaths. A flash of lightning, and he dashed to Ningxiu in an instant. However, before his fist could hit Ningxiu's cheek, frost blossomed across his body's surface, especially the leading edge of his fist, which became sheathed in a layer of ice. Mechanical weather balloon ice crystal snow. That's interesting. Meng Chong retreated for the moment. Baptism of fire technique. His body bathed in flame, dispelling the frost. He once again became heated and agile. Immortal aptitude, frenzied rushing thunder. He rushed forward, only to be struck back and sent flying in retreat. A massive mechanical ape appeared beside Ningxiu. Golden core level materials. Ningxiu patted the mechanical ape at his side and said, "I've named it the Heavy Blood Ape, Brother Meng. I hope you'll appreciate it." Meng Chong looked at Ningxiu once again, his expression different than before. "You're a worthy opponent, haha, come, let's fight." Meng Chong charged once more, in the inner circle of the lava fairy palace. Zheng Xuangu, spitting blood, ran desperately, frantically sending messages to Ning Jiufan. "Clan leader Ning, brother Ning. Return the moon hook to me. Whatever conditions you ask, I will agree." Ning Jiufan snorted coldly. Despicable villain, you launched a sneak attack. What face do you have to negotiate with me? I won't return it. His refusal plunged Zheng Xuangu deep into despair. Alone with his hook, he was no match for the two golden core cultivators of the Taking Palace. He was truly in dire straits. Even in death, I won't make it easy for you. In his despair, Zheng Xuangu rushed towards Ning Jiufan. Ning Jiufan laughed furiously and decisively cast an attack magic spell, accurately enveloping Zheng Xuangu. Zheng Xuangu froze, his body stiffened, revealing a huge flaw. The skilled and tacitly coordinated golden core cultivators of Taking Palace caught up to him from behind and dealt a fatal blow. Zheng Xuangu screamed in agony and fell dead on the spot. He was the first golden core level cultivator to fall in battle since the Great Melee began. He was only the first, certainly not the last. After him, more golden core cultivators either died or fled. The intensity of the battle was too great, the chaos of the battlefield too much. Those who were once revered and looked upon as ancestors were now no more than fodder in the melee. The flame beast tide pressed on relentlessly. Amidst the fierce infighting, the three families and the city lord's mansion had drawn many lower-ranking elites into the secret pavilion of transition, leaving the inner circle of defenses grossly undermanned and unable to resist the beast tide, collapsing one by one. Three nascent soul-level flame demon beasts were still contained by Meng Kui. But in the next breath, the five-tailed fire fox of the Taking Palace reappeared, launching 5 streams of flying flames. The flames, rapid as meteor fire, were blocked by Meng Kui's mana power hand, yet 2 still reached the inner circle of the Immortal Palace. One stream of flying flames landed on the medical center, with Ning Jiufan nearby. The explosion of flames spread fiercely, engulfing everything around. Caught in a nascent soul-level sea of fire, Ning Jiufan struggled frantically to save himself. The frost melted in the face of flame, offering no resistance. My time is up. Ning Jiufan lamented as, at that moment, a female ape scooped him up and swiftly carried him out of the fiery death trap. Ning Jiufan's face showed a complicated expression as he saw the nascent soul-level magma demon ape that had saved him. Another stream of flying flames struck the main hall, absorbed by the surrounding secret pavilion of transition. Boom! With the explosion, the flames scorched, consuming swathes of purple and blue currents, revealing a void. Many secret pavilions were engulfed in flames, countless cultivators inside either killed or injured. The related prohibitions were severely weakened as a result. "We can get inside now," discovered a golden core cultivator, who immediately dove into the secret pavilion. His success triggered a wave of imitators. Shazhang Jun, Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor, Luo Shang, Yang Chanyu, many Meng family Golden Core cultivators, and several Black Shadow Demon cultivators all stormed into the pavilion. Several Golden Core reinforcements saved Meng family's Golden Core body cultivator and Zhang Danlian. Zhu Xuanji, with 3 divine skills at his disposal, consistently had the upper hand in this duel. Although the mechanical sickle was sharp, Zhu Xuanji dared not endure its blows often, but Zhang Danlian was too weak, his martial arts far inferior to Zhu Xuanji's. Despite having a good weapon, he couldn't make much use of it. The situation for the Meng family's Golden Core body cultivator was even more tragic, with multiple bone fractures and bruising all over, barely clinging to life. "Zhu Xuanji, don't get cocky. Act together, no need for hesitation." Several Golden Cores unleashed spells and magic treasures, converging into a torrential downpour of attacks. Zhu Xuanji fully activated his 3 divine skills. The golden mountain mysterious light surged, the golden branches and jade leaves clanged urgently, and his jade pillar body stood unyieldingly. He bore the brunt of the barrage from numerous enemies while calling upon his innate talent. Innate talent, golden eyes. Magic Ganji. Innate talent magic, sharp golden spear. Golden spears flowed upstream against the tide, cutting through obstacles with precision. They struck their targets squarely, toppling Golden Core cultivators, who suffered grievous injuries. The furious assault on Zhu Xuanji was significantly diminished. "Heh, all of you will die." Zhang Danlian's eyes were blood red as he suddenly threw his mechanical sickle. Transforming midair, the sickle became a mechanical giant snake, launching a sneak attack on a Meng family Golden Core cultivator. It opened its jaws wide and devoured a Golden Core cultivator whole. Then, it turned its deadly intentions towards the others. The Meng family Golden Core cultivators didn't expect Zheng Danlian to turn on his own people in a frenzy. By the time they reacted, a second victim's thigh had already been bitten off by the mechanical giant snake. In shock and anger, the Meng family Golden Cores bombarded the mechanical giant snake. But the Night Rain demon weapon incredibly withstood the terrifying attacks, swallowing and killing the second victim. It then lunged for the third Golden Core. The Meng family Golden Cores scattered. Zheng Danlian, with a bloodthirsty smile, promptly followed with the mechanical giant snake. His gaze was mad, chilling even Zhu Xuanji to the bone. Secret Pavilion of Transition. Damn it, what does the real exit look like? This is truly annoying. Kai Dun charged wildly along the way, bursting through various doors. But beyond each door was another secret pavilion. Secret pavilion, secret pavilion, secret pavilion. Kai Dun suspected he was trapped in an endless loop of repetition. Had I known it would be like this, I might as well have continued to guard Fire Persimmon Immortal City, battling the flame demon beast. But there was no way out. This was an order personally issued by Meng Kui. After bursting into a secret pavilion, Kai Dun's eyes suddenly brightened as he saw a black shadow demon cultivator. The black shadow demon cultivator directly opened a door and vanished in a flash. Where do you think you're going? Kai Dun, delighted, rapidly chased after him. After chasing through 3 secret pavilions, the black shadow demon cultivator seemed to have a clear target. Every time Kai Dun arrived, the other party chose a door without hesitation, following a certain method. The distance between them kept shrinking. Finally, Kai Dun caught up with the black shadow demon cultivator. He threw a punch with full force, his fist heavy and powerful, tearing the air as it whistled through. The black shadow demon cultivator turned in mid-leap to raise an arm in defense. Boom! A loud noise ensued, and the black shadow demon cultivator was sent flying backward even faster. Meanwhile, Kai Dun remained in place, clenching his teeth. A huge orange-yellow talisman was imprinted on his chest, its edges spreading outward, forming a great sealing force. Kai Dun's eyes brimmed with blood, his body and mind filled with tumultuous fury. He spurred his golden core level mana with all his might, causing his muscles to bulge, heat to steam off his body, and veins to rise like dragons. Exerting all his strength, he slowly lifted his head. Because of the seal, this small action was as difficult as lifting a mountain. But Kai Dun didn't care about that. He glared in the direction the black shadow demon cultivator had fled, and roared in his heart, "It's him!" Despite only making contact with one strike, Kai Dun immediately understood the other party was the same black shadow demon cultivator he had previously fought and chased into the persimmon fire forest. "I didn't expect to find you, Kai Dun suddenly shouted loudly, exercising his arms with all his might, completely shattering the seal talisman on his body. Blood spurted from his mouth and nose immediately, but he paid it no mind. Filled with anger, he gave it his all and charged in the direction where the black shadow demon cultivator had disappeared. Bang, bang, bang. The sounds of knocking down doors and closing them were almost continuous. "Who's there?" The Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor was also exploring the secret pavilion. Within the range of his divine sense, suddenly a cultivator with golden core aura intruded. "A black shadow demon cultivator. Heh, so am I." The smile on the face of the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor immediately vanished as he noticed that the other was heading straight for him. The Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor became solemn, fully on guard. The next moment, the black shadow demon cultivator barged into the secret pavilion, and their eyes met. The black shadow demon cultivator didn't stay. He chose the door on his left and pushed it open to enter. Just as the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor relaxed, his divine sense detected another golden core. It was Kai Dun. He became alert once more. After all, he was disguised as a black shadow demon cultivator this time. Kai Dun saw the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core and didn't care, going straight for the door on the left. Kai Dun's divine sense had long since detected the strong presence of the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core True Inheritor, but he kept a close eye on the black shadow demon cultivator from before. Seeing Kai Dun hurry off, the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core relaxed again. He was about to continue exploring when he suddenly changed his mind. He himself had no leads, Seeing the desperate look on Kai Dun, why not catch up and see? Kai Dun was still within the range of the divine sense of the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core, who decisively set off. The chase continued. Quick, help me block that black shadow demon cultivator up ahead. Within the range of Kai Dun's divine sense appeared some Meng family Golden Core cultivators, so he immediately sent a message over, seeking assistance. The Meng family Golden Core cultivator, due to Zheng Danlian's betrayal, was defeated and on the run, and had ingested elixir pills to recuperate. Upon receiving Kai Dun's message, he immediately cooperated actively. The Black Shadow Demon cultivator was entangled by the Meng family Golden Core cultivator, ultimately allowing Kai Dun to catch up again. The three began to battle within the secret pavilion. Bang, bang, bang. Thick black smoke erupted, toxic and damaging to the divine sense. Amidst the smoke, countless black pythons pierced through the battlefield, causing Kai Dun and the Meng family Golden Core cultivator to retreat. The ferocity of the attack caused even the Purple Dawn Pavilion Golden Core who was approaching the battlefield to slow his steps. The Black Shadow Demon cultivator temporarily repelled the two enemies and withdrew. Kai Dun and the Meng family Golden Core cultivator, once free of the black smoke, continued the chase relentlessly. Suddenly, within the range of their divine sense, appeared Zhu Xuanji. The Meng family Golden Core cultivator was uncertain, but Kai Dun was overjoyed. Under normal circumstances, the Meng family and Zhu Xuanji should have been at odds. However, Kai Dun, a body cultivator, didn't think too much and directly messaged. Divine Hunter Zhu, the Black Shadow Demon cultivator who fled into the Persimmon Fire Forest, is just ahead. Oh. Upon hearing this, Zhu Xuanji's eyes instantly sparked with sharpness, and he set off at once. He, too, joined the chase. But he was even further away than the Meng family Golden Core and Kai Dun. The chase was expanding. Another Black Shadow Demon cultivator appeared within everyone's divine sense range. Kai Dun and the Meng family Golden Core did not recognize him, but Zhu Xuanji understood the visitor's true identity. Brother Zhou, quickly intercept that man. Zhu Xuanji transmitted with his divine sense. Zhou Nanjiang had disguised himself as the Black Shadow Demon cultivator, and naturally, he needed to ensure his own people knew about it. Especially Zhu Xuanji. Otherwise, being killed by his own people would be a grave injustice. Zhou Nanjiang received a message and immediately threw out an array plate, setting up a formation in an instant, blocking behind the door. When the Black Shadow Demon cultivator opened the door, he fell into the formation. The smile that had just begun to form on Zhou Nanjiang's face froze the next moment. He saw the array bulge, the array patterns warp, the sky ripple, creating waves, and the Black Shadow Demon cultivator easily passed through the ripples and broke out of the array. Divine skills, escape in the midst of battle. Zhou Nanjiang was greatly shaken. Almost everything he had learned was devoted to formation mastery. The Black Shadow Demon cultivator's mastery of this divine skill was his nemesis. The Black Shadow Demon cultivator charged straight at him. Zhou Nanjiang's heart pounded with terror, his fighting spirit wavered, and he retreated explosively to the side to increase the distance instinctively. As a result, he gave way to the door behind him, allowing the Black Shadow Demon cultivator to push through the entrance. After Zhou Nanjiang reacted, he dared not pursue and quickly began to dismantle the formation, so as not to block his own people. Disengaging the formation was relatively difficult compared to how easily he had set it up, and he became flustered as he raced against time. Upon learning through divine sense communication that the Black Shadow Demon cultivator actually possessed the divine skill to escape in the midst of battle, Zhu Xuanji's heart sank. Countless clues in his mind surfaced one after another, showing signs of connecting. At this moment, he received a mental message from the Black Shadow Demon cultivator who took the initiative to contact Zhu Xuanji. Divine Hunter Zhu, instead of chasing me, why not investigate the Dragon Turtle Fire Spirit? Let me inform you. Over the years, Palace Spirit has exploited tiny loopholes in authority to remodel the Lava Fairy Palace. It has constructed several channels from the mana pool, seemingly stealing mana, accumulating bit by bit, with an unknown purpose. Zhu Xuanji was struck at heart, immediately thinking of the 10,000-li traveling dragon. He snorted coldly, continuing his relentless pursuit. Meanwhile, Zhu Xuanji communicated through divine sense, urging the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator to stop and submit to an investigation while also contacting Gu Zhen to inform him of this crucial clue. Gu Zhen, upon receiving the clue, was overjoyed. Brother, in my previous investigation, I indeed found some structures that appeared superfluous, added on the spot. Following this lead, there is a good chance I'll find the hidden 10,000 Li traveling dragon. He immediately took action. This move utterly terrified the dragon turtle fire spirit. What is Gu Zhen looking for? Why aren't you dealing with the numerous demon beasts or fighting with the other golden core cultivators? What are you looking for? Gu Zhen's target was so obvious. He was following the mana channels, tracing the vine to find the melon. The dragon turtle fire spirit felt its body catch fire from urgency. It's exposed. The 10,000 Li traveling dragon is exposed as well. Damn it, when did the Zhu family discover this secret? It wanted to escape right then, to burrow into the 10,000 Li traveling dragon and get away. No, the lava fairy palace still bound it, making escape impossible. Meng Chang, you useless fool. It roared, furious. Meng Chang, in battle with Ning Zhuo, had already fallen into an absolute disadvantage. Ning Zhuo had released several mechanical artifacts to guard himself, resisting Meng Chang's relentless attacks, while he stood guard at the door, starting to piece together wooden planks. Such a situation plunged the dragon turtle fire spirit into despair. It was incredibly anxious, certain that Meng Chang's defeat was inevitable. To break free from this predicament, it needed to make another breakthrough. Left with no choice, the dragon turtle fire spirit mustered the courage, broke through its own limits, and took the initiative to contact Meng Qi. Meng Qi, if you don't take action now, it will be too late. Who? Meng Qi was taken aback. The next moment he smiled faintly. Dragon turtle fire spirit, you finally stopped playing dead to contact me. Rest assured, everything is within my control. The dragon turtle fire spirit roared with rage, cutting him off mid-sentence. Idiot! You have no idea that Ning Zhuo. Before it could finish, a flaming chopper abruptly materialized. The dragon turtle fire spirit couldn't move, bracing itself for decapitation. The chopper fell fiercely, decapitating the dragon turtle fire spirit once more, separating head from body. The dragon head, with eyes wide open, rolled on the ground, then turned into particles of spirit light, drifting away. The lava fairy palace strictly forbade revealing cultivator information, and the dragon turtle fire spirit was so desperate that it broke the rules, but was decapitated before it could speak, being gravely injured. The information it was about to divulge was thus suppressed. Dragon turtle fire spirit, dragon turtle fire spirit. Meng Qi's calls received no response. In an instant, his heart was shocked. I have been blinded by Qi Fortune, thinking everything was under my control. Although the dragon turtle fire spirit hadn't spoken, for someone as clever as Meng Qi, it was enough. He seized this opportunity to see through the haze of Qi Fortune, his mind becoming completely clear. He employed the heart god skill to view the lifespan formation within the battlefield. The timing wasn't right. Meng Qi felt the chance of victory slipping rapidly from his hands, and as he calculated fervently, his brow furrowed more and more tightly. Within the lava fairy palace, the dragon turtle fire spirit was panting heavily, regaining its vision. Its form was less than a third of its complete state, its body dull and lackluster, its heart filled with dread and its spirit exhausted. Meng Qi sent a divine sense message, calling incessantly, Dragon turtle fire spirit, if you desire freedom, you must join forces with me. Do you know that Zhu Xuanji has long been aware of your disloyalty? It was Ning Zhu who harmed me. At this point, the dragon turtle fire spirit could only think of the paper, that poem that Ning Zhu had given to Zhu Xuanji. How could it not see through? It was Ning Zhu's conspiring scheme. So you're taking advantage of my lack of literary knowledge, huh? Fooling me right to my face. Hateful, utterly hateful. Meng Qi took a deep breath, casting his full strength. Two mana power hands abandoned the array lines, flew toward the thunder flow and electric barrier made of the secret pavilion of transition, dissolving spontaneously, eroding the pavilion. Luck's skill, instant karmic retribution. The causality of the world, it's not that it doesn't come to pass, it's just not yet the time. At that moment, the karma instantly ignited the fire of karmic energy, and retribution was immediately upon him. There was no delay in pursuit and settlement. Give me another chance. The dragon turtle fire spirit roared in fury, overstepping its bounds once again, forcibly causing trouble. The cultivators who barged in did not have the qualifications for the heavenly test, and the secret pavilions they traversed would not be counted among the 36 assigned. The previous significant opportunity had seen little progress from Ning Zhu and Meng Chong, while Zhu Xuenji, Song Fuli, and Zheng Danlian were the ones who had expended much. Even so, the three of them had still not used up the count of 36. But now, the Dragon Turtle Fire Spirit and Meng Kui in collusion, taking advantage of the serious decline of the Lava Fairy Palace's prohibition, had actually managed to undergo a transition prematurely. After this round of transition, the Dragon Turtle Fire Spirit's spiritual nature was greatly damaged, its body semi-transparent, appearing only intermittently. It fell into an extreme state of weakness, motionless, curled up the size of a fingertip, enduring the vicious lashing of whips, struggling to breathe. And Meng Kui wasn't faring any better. At this stage, he was still just short of being able to intervene directly. Forcing action at this time, even with the Dragon Turtle Fire Spirit as an inside agent, was to directly confront the Lava Fairy Palace and face off against its prohibition. His breath greatly weakened, his temples turned white in an instant, and blood trickled slowly from his 7 orifices. The man aged more than 10 years in an instant. The relative position of the secret pavilion of transition was overturned once more. Originally, Zhu Xuenji and the others had been gradually catching up with the Black Shadow Demon cultivator, but now their effort had come to naught. Ning Zhu and Meng Chong, who were together in one pavilion, were not affected by this turmoil. But the next moment, Ning Zhu suddenly combusted. Red flames scorched him, the tips of the flames turned a brownish yellow, emitting a thick, pungent stench. "What is this?" Ning Zhu was aghast. Without the Buddha Heart Demon Seal, Ning Zhu couldn't suppress his lifespan, and he was even more defenseless against attacks on his luck skill. He had been hit. As the flames burned, he felt his cultivation level rapidly deteriorating. His senses, strength, and mana all plummeted as if falling off a cliff. How was I caught by this technique? Ning Zhu felt a chill over his entire body. Moving the wooden blocks required the expenditure of his spirit and mana. Now placed at the very end, his eyes blackened, seeing double images of everything, he found himself unable to continue. Meng Chong attacked once more. The heavy blood ape took a step forward, using its vast body as a defense line. Before, such a defense line was solid, always forcing Meng Chong to return without success. But this time, the situation was vastly different. With no spiritual nature residing in the heavy blood ape, it relied solely on Ning Zhu's control. Given Ning Zhu's poor condition, the battle power of the heavy blood ape plummeted. Luckily, Ning Zai's spiritual nature was intact, with the autonomous ability to protect its master. The heaven weather sphere shot out ice cones, a fiery blockade, once again repelling Meng Chong. Meng Chong was out of breath. Up to this point in the battle, he completely acknowledged Ning Zhu's strength, treating him as a true opponent. He was covered in wounds, and his condition had also severely declined. But his fighting spirit did not wane. On the contrary, it grew more vigorous as the situation became more difficult. Just as he was about to charge forward again, bang, the door was abruptly pushed open. A crazy old crone barged in. "Zio Huey, where have you hidden my Zio Huey?" She screamed wildly, her eyes reflecting the red glow of karmic fire. Clearly, she was closer to Meng Chong, but she directed her pointed accusation at Ning Zhu. It was you who hid my Zio Huey, wasn't it? Give me back my granddaughter." Ning Zio Huey's grandmother yelled maniacally, charging at Ning Zhu and launching a desperate attack on him. Meng Chong was taken aback. Immediately, the door was pushed open again. The former young clan leader of the Ning family, Ning Zioren, entered the room. His pupils also reflected the crimson flames, his face twisted with hatred. "Ning Zhu, you little brat. My fall to this sorry state today is all thanks to you. Now, you still want to break out of here and take the position of Palace Master. Ha ha ha, as long as I am here, that will never be possible." Ning Zioren also attacked Ning Zhu. Meng Chong was astonished. He hesitated, wondering whether to join the attack, when the door was pushed open once again. Zhou Zhu and Zhou Zeshan entered, hand in hand. "That's the first time I've seen that door. It must be the final gate for those who succeed in the challenge." But Ning Zhu was occupying that place. "Let's attack." Meng Chong. These frequent and unexpected disruptions were clearly no accidents. So many cultivators had entered in succession, all disregarding Meng Chong, with their eyes set on Ning Zhu as their enemy. Meng Chong stared at the flames engulfing Ning Zhu's entire body, wondering who had made their move. At this moment, Meng Qi's transmission reached his ears. "Foolish child, take the opportunity to go, open the grand door and enter the main hall." "It's grandfather," Meng Chong suddenly realized. Ning Zhu was in an extremely poor state, almost unable to see anything. Fortunately, having ascended to the foundation establishment stage, he had mastered divine sense, which he could use to observe his enemies. However, the range of his divine sense was rapidly shrinking. The door was continuously being pushed open. Those cultivators who entered were all bound to Ning Zhu by karmic entanglements of evil deeds. For example, Ning Xianxia, Zheng Hua, and even his great uncle Ning Zi appeared. He had also ventured into the secret pavilion of transition. "Ning Zhu, how did you avenge your cousin? For your own ascent to the position of the head of a branch family, you used even your own blood revenge as a bargaining chip. Now, this is your retribution." The firelight filled Ning Zhu's pupils. He retained very little rationality and was bewildered by his chief fortune. Sun Lingtong pushed the door and entered. "Little Zhu, I've finally found you," Sun Lingtong rejoiced. His eyes also reflected the flames. At this moment, Ning Zhu was in grave danger. His divine sense was reduced to a mere 8 feet around his body. Often, he could only let the mechanical artifacts act on their own. Sun Lingtong flicked his wrist, and his storage bracelet emitted a strange light, falling to the edge of the battlefield, revealing the golden blood battle ape Dasheng. The golden blood battle ape Dasheng was severely damaged, and although Sun Lingtong had patched it up urgently, his methods were crude and could not compare to Ning Zhu. The golden blood battle ape Dasheng charged directly at the heavy blood ape, embracing warmly. As the two made contact, Yuan Dasheng's spiritual nature automatically flew out and entered the heavy blood ape. "My lord, your soldier has arrived." The heavy blood ape Dasheng let out a great roar, shaking off its previous stiffness, becoming remarkably spirit movement. Its mechanical heart compartment, the heart sphere furnace fire essence, was as large as a sphere, operating at full capacity. A huge amount of persimmon fire was rapidly consumed, transformed into surging mana. The surface of the heart sphere furnace swelled with various cylindrical shapes, wildly contracting and expanding, providing strong forces in all directions. At the critical moment, the heavy blood ape Dasheng stood out resolutely, heroically protecting its master. This mechanical husk, made with a large amount of golden core-level materials, was robust and sturdy, allowing Yuan Dasheng to display the power of a quasi-golden core level in battle. Although Ning Xiaohui's grandmother and the others were numerous and powerful, they were only at foundation establishment stage after all, and could not reach the golden core level. They were unable to stop heavy blood ape Dasheng from carving out a path for Ning Zhu with its protection. Sun Lingtong, wielding twin daggers and dressed in the attire of Black Shadow Demon Cultivator, attacked Ning Xiaohui's grandmother and the others, covering Ning Zhu's retreat. Just when he was about to breathe a sigh of relief, the door of the secret pavilion was pushed open again. Golden light escaped from within. Maintaining 3 divine skills, Zhu Xuanji made a grand entrance. Zhu Xuanji's eyes reflected fiery red flames, and the wind alarm bell in his heart kept ringing. At first glance, he had seen through the situation in the secret pavilion. "Karmic fire is burning. This is the retribution of the luck skill," Zhu Xuanji sneered internally. "Ning Zhu, you've gotten what you deserved by ending up in this plight." He had just had this thought when he heard a roar. Yuan Dasheng, a heavy blood ape resembling him in stature, both of them tall and burly, charged headfirst into him, clasped him around the waist, and dashed away at full speed, breaking away from the battlefield. Such an act would have been impossible for any other mechanism, but Yuan Dasheng, having reached the spiritual wisdom phase, could analyze the battle situation and possessed greater autonomy. Zhu Xuanji's anger showed on his face as he swung his elbows, hitting the back of the heavy blood ape Yuan Dasheng. Each hit created a small, deep pit. Regardless, Yuan Dasheng did not care and exerted all his strength to keep Zhu Xuanji away from Ning Zhu. Sun Lingtong reacted immediately and shielded Ning Zhu's side. Everything had happened too fast. The door had opened, and Zhu Xuanji, engulfed in golden light, appeared before being knocked away by Yuan Dasheng. Ning Ziohui's grandmother and others closed in again. "It's done! Ha ha ha!" Meng Chong laughed loudly. Acting on Meng Qi's orders, he seized the doorway, quickly pushed the wooden blocks, assembling the final section. Initially, Ning Zhu had almost completed the assembly. Meng Chong, using his immortal aptitude to enhance his actions, managed to complete the final steps in a matter of breaths. With the content accurate, the door opened wide. A brilliant light shot up into the sky, casting an unparalleled glow over the secret pavilion. As if a starry vortex formed inside the door, Meng Chong, without any hesitation, charged in. "No, he's gone in," someone yelled. "Quick, stop Meng Chong. The position of the Immortal Palace Master of the Lava Fairy Palace is mine." The group attacking Ning Zhu dwindled significantly. They were enchanted by Qi Fortune, but when it concerned overwhelming interests, their greedy desires overwhelmed the fiery red light in their eyes. Only Ning Ziohui's grandmother, Ning Zioren, Ning Zi, and a few others still continued their assault on Ning Zhuo. Sun Lingtong struggled to protect, blocking left and right, and soon he was bathed in blood. His combat style was agile and dynamic, but in order to protect Ning Zhuo, he had to abandon his strengths and was almost entirely on defense. He had not recovered from previous injuries and was not at full strength. Most crucially, his morale was low, and for no reason, he felt a sudden dislike and aversion toward Ning Zhuo. This mental state made every effort to protect Ning Zhuo leave him weak-kneed, and he could barely exert 30 or 40% of his full capacity. In contrast, Ning Ziohui's grandmother and the others were clearly bolstered by the luck skill. Their power had expanded severalfold compared to their own peaks. "Sun Lingtong, you outsider, don't meddle," Ning Zioren shouted. Ning Zi said, "This ingrate Ning Zhu, a white wolf who won't be tamed, forgets his benefactors and even ignores his own blood. I should never have raised him." Sun Lingtong, furious, cursed loudly. "You're the outsiders. What did you even raise?" Taking advantage of the brawl among the three, Ning Ziohui's grandmother, like a swift hawk, pounced toward Ning Zhuo. Her eyes blazed most fiercely. "You ungrateful wretch, give my Ziohui back!" She attacked the defenseless Ning Zhuo. Teleportation art. At the critical moment, Sun Lingtong quickly turned around, using the signature magic of the Bukong sect. However, this time he wasn't using it on himself. Struck by the teleportation art, Ning Ziohui's grandmother immediately vanished from the spot, transported to the neighboring secret pavilion. Distracted, Sun Lingtong was severely injured by Ning Zi and Ning Zioren and kicked to a corner. The door Yuan Dasheng had knocked down remained wide open. Black Shadow Demon Cultivator and Kai Dun continued their fierce battle as they charged over. Stone Heart Delaying Technique, Lime Heart Technique. Kai Dun's fist glowed with a gray halo as it struck the back of the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator. In retaliation, the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator emitted black smoke, releasing several ropes that entwined Kai Dun. Bound by the ropes and following his momentum, Kai Dun crashed solidly into a wall. Hit by the powerful punch, the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator's speed surged as he rushed toward the door of the secret pavilion. "HMPH, now that you've been struck by my Lime Heart technique, you will." Kai Dun's eyes suddenly widened. For, at that very moment, he witnessed a faint yellow Buddhist light emanating from the Black Shadow Demon Cultivator's body, rapidly dissipating the grayish-white halo on his struck back. The Black Shadow Demon Cultivator let out a hoarse laugh as he dashed toward the small door. It was clearly a Buddhist light flickering, yet it made others feel an overwhelming demonic chi. Martial arts, mountain barrier, mountain barrier, mountain barrier. Zhuxuanji struck several palms in succession. Even the heavily armored interior of the heavy blood ape, temporarily reinforced by Ning Zhu with all his strength, could not withstand the golden core level attack and was once again shattered to pieces. Yuan Dasheng still wanted to fight back, but Zhuxuanji stepped back, creating space, then reached out with both hands, plunging his fingers into the chest of the heavy blood ape, and with a fierce tug, he rent it asunder. He split open its belly. The heavy blood ape knelt on the ground, its head held high with anger, completely suppressed under the golden mountain stance. "Pitiable, tragic, lamentable," Zhuxuanji expressed with an emotionless face, his tone filled with regret. He had recognized this as Yuan Dasheng's spiritual nature. However, just as he was about to step past Yuan Dasheng and rush towards the secret pavilion at the main entrance, his steps suddenly halted. He saw the fragments of the broken mechanical heart sphere. He saw the unlit fire persimmons. The grades of the fire persimmons were all high, most being 1,000-year-old fire persimmons, and there were even 10,000-year-old fire persimmons. In an instant, Zhu Xuanji felt as if he had been struck by lightning. He stood frozen in place, his heart missing a beat, gripped by intense horror. All the clues connected in this moment. The truth was revealed. Xiaohui, my Xiaohui. Ning Xiaohui's grandmother had already lost her sanity. She was teleported out by Sun Lingtong, and she crazily rushed back in. Before entering the small door, she encountered the black shadow demon cultivator. With a gentle wave of his arm, Ning Xiaohui's grandmother was decapitated, her neck spouting a fountain of blood. Dead. This sight terrified Ning Xiaoran and Ning Zi. Cold sweat breaking out as a strong desire to survive overpowered the red firelight in their eyes. The two of them retreated explosively at the same time. Sun Lingtong, dragging his severely injured body, reached Ning Zhu's side. Just as he stood up to drag Ning Zhu away, he looked up and saw the black shadow demon cultivator, close at hand. An overwhelming oppression descended like a mountain. Sun Lingtong's eyes bled as he let out a low roar and was about to fling Ning Zhu aside and throw himself forward. In the next moment, he was knocked down by a single finger point. Thump. He fell to the ground, his cheek against the cold floor, his heart as cold as the floor tiles. He despaired as he looked at Ning Zhu, whose eyes were tightly shut. If possible, he would have traded his own life for Ning Zhu's. Seeing this, Ning Xiaoran and Ning Zhu retreated even faster. Don't retreat, seize Ning Zhu quickly. Almost simultaneously, Zhu Xuanji burst into the secret pavilion next door, anxiously shouting. Ning Xiaoran and Ning Zi were puzzled. It was already too late. The black shadow demon cultivator slowly bent down, extending his mechanical arm and hand, gently assisting Ning Zhu to stand up. The faint yellow Buddhist light shone on Ning Zhu, suppressing the red flames burning on his body. Ning Zhu finally regained some strength. He leaned on the black shadow demon cultivator's arm and struggled to stand upright. A simple action, yet it exhausted the pitiful remainder of his strength. He was drenched in cold sweat, barely opening his eyes, his vision gradually clearing. He looked at the black shadow demon cultivator beside him, showing a gentle, relaxed, silent smile. The next moment, Sun Lingtong's eyes widened, pupils constricted, showing a highly shocked expression. For he had heard Ning Zhu softly call out, "Mother." 14 years ago, at Meng Yayan's dying moments, she entrusted her wishes to Ning Zhu, who was only 2 years old at the time. The immortal city is continually deteriorating, and the selection criteria are being lowered. Zhu, by the time you are 14, the selection criteria for the mechanical immortal city will be lowered to the Qi refinement realm. This will be your greatest opportunity. Zhu, you must study mechanical techniques thoroughly. You need to design, assemble, and control mechanical artifacts personally. These are all part of the assessments at the mechanical immortal city. You must never cultivate using the Ning family's techniques to the foundation establishment stage. Do not let others know about your involvement in this area. Don't perform too outstandingly. With mom and dad gone, no one is truly reliable for you. You must hide yourself well, not perform too poorly. Mediocrity will suffice. You need to grow up ordinarily, accumulate quietly without drawing attention. Mom has seen too much, too many geniuses dying young. Mom leaves the iron hand armor to protect you. It possesses the power of foundation establishment. And this magic treasure, the Buddha Heart Demon Seal, this is something Mom fortuitously obtained from the Lava Fairy Palace. It must absolutely not be exposed. After giving her instructions, at the last moments of her life, she fell into hesitation. Mom doesn't know if teaching you this is right. Zhu, you must take good care of yourself. If it's too hard, then give up on the Lava Fairy Palace. Life is the most important. Mom hopes you live well, just live well. If you live, Mom will be happy. 2-year-old Ning Zhu clutched his mother's blood-stained clothes tightly. Mom, stop talking. I don't want you to die, don't die, woo woo woo. Meng Yayan's last words to Ning Zhu were, "My dear Zhu, don't be scared, don't fear. Mom is here, Mom will protect you from underground." The next moment, his mother's heart ceased beating and her hand slowly slipped from the top of Ning Zhu's head. Ning Zhu was stupefied, initially calling softly, Mom, wake up, please wake up." Soon after, his voice grew louder. He threw himself into his mother's arms and wailed bitterly. He cried until he passed out. Meng Yan's soul emitted a faint sigh as it emerged from her body. She reached out to caress Ning Zhuo but touched nothing. Meng Yan's soul manipulated finger techniques, using techniques to control puppet mechanisms, and made her body stand up. She then took out a prepared substitute body from her storage bracelet and placed it in the original spot. Before leaving, she crouched, looked quietly at Ning Zhuo's sleeping face, and showed deep reluctance. After a moment, she suppressed her emotions, maneuvered her own corpse, went into the underground chamber, and used a transmission array to leave. She first transported to an underground secret base for a transfer, then entered Fire Persimmon Mountain. She navigated the tunnels familiarly and reached the Lava Fairy Palace. Led by the Immortal Palace treasure light, she re-entered the palace. This was her first entry into the palace after death, and her emotions were extremely mixed. Carrying her authority, she effortlessly entered the gourd fire furnace forest. Her soul radiated violet traces of light. Meng Yan sighed inwardly. Even in death, this Tao injury still persists. Now I can only hope that refining my spiritual nature will dispel this Tao injury. The Tao injury accelerated her decline, and she strenuously manipulated her corpse to plunge into the golden furnace. Cremation, Prajnaparamita, soul-resolving scripture. Flames ignited, and Meng Yan endured the intense agony of soul burning and soul refining. However, she remained quietly crouched in the furnace, suffering silently with unwavering willpower, never uttering a word. Zhuo, if this succeeds, Mom can still accompany you as you grow up. If it doesn't, she smiled sadly but was completely resolute without a trace of wavering. No matter what, her soul would undoubtedly be shattered. She clearly had an ample lifespan in the netherworld and could have lived much longer. Yet for her son, she bravely risked refining herself. Hidden in the shadows, the dragon turtle fire spirit was utterly astonished. She's so ruthless, this woman is too ruthless. The golden furnace shattered, and the Buddhist physician descended. Meng Yan's refined spirit entered the mechanical body. The dragon turtle fire spirit marveled. She really did refine herself. Such intense pain, yet she didn't make a sound. Back then, I was screaming from beginning to end. No, roaring continuously. Indeed, without ruthlessness, one cannot become a demon. Seeing the Buddhist physician Meng Yan leave the immortal palace, the dragon turtle fire spirit felt satisfied. This Meng Yan truly is a benefactor to me. Not only did she exploit a loophole and took away things like the Buddha heart demon seal and more. Even after death, she could take the Buddhist physician. She is simply too strong. I really hope more such characters appear in the future. With a few more, my escape from here is almost certain. Buddhist physician Meng Yan returned by the same path and saw Ning Zhu again. She extended her mechanical arm and gently caressed Ning Zhu's cheek. Then, she began adjusting the mechanisms within her body. Buddha-like warmth, resembling orange light and flowing water, emanated from her body, pouring into Ning Zhu's upper dantian divine sea. Zhuo, Mom has a gift for you. This is the true scripture of the mirror stand spirit communication technique, one of the 3 superior sect techniques. Mom has hidden the entire scripture within your divine sea. If you cultivate this technique in the future, you will face no bottlenecks. Having done this, the Buddhist physician Meng Yan quietly faded from sight. Changing morning clothes, entering the hall, reporting to the temple, issuing the funeral announcement, setting up the mourning hall, placing in the coffin, memorial service, vigil, funeral procession, burial. Buddhist physician Meng Yan observed covertly from the shadows, witnessing her own funeral which evoked complex feelings in her. Seeing Ning Zhu, resembling a puppet, dead silent, caused her immense heartache. She hesitated, never revealing herself, because of the Tao injury. She needed to confirm that she had escaped the Tao injury. Otherwise, even if they recognized each other, it would only increase the sadness and separation. Buddhist physician Meng Yan stopped her breathing exercises, her eyes flashing purple for an instant. Tao injury. Her heart was filled with regret. Even having refined herself into a being of spiritual nature, she couldn't escape this fate-binding affliction. So, how much longer can I exist this time? She sighed bitterly, feeling fortunate she hadn't appeared before Ning Zhu again. Late at night. Mom, where are you? Don't leave me. 2-year-old Ning Zhu curled up, hiding under the covers, having a nightmare. Meng Yan revealed herself. She resisted the sadness and walked softly to the bed, kneeling down and carefully grasping Ning Zhu's little hand. She began softly, clouds fly, flying over by river and Kuiwei. Brook waters babble around great trees, sunlight scattered over the mounds of green grass. Clouds fly, winds chase, flying over rivers and starlight. The sky high and land vast, so brilliant, clouds rolling and floating at the wind's mercy. Clouds fly, hearts tire, flying over rainbows and rosy clouds. The colors in the sky gradually fade, moonlight quietly illuminating the darkness. Clouds fly, dreams return, flying over longing and sorrow. In a mother's dream, she leads you home, back to a peaceful sleep in your hometown. Amidst the familiar lullaby, Ningzhu's brows gradually relaxed. He relaxed and peacefully fell asleep. This became more frequent. One night before Meng Yayan could start the lullaby, Ningzhu awoke from a nightmare, eyes wide in shock. He saw a puppet appear at the head of his bed and screamed in terror. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. It's Mom, your mom. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan quickly reassured with a gentle voice. Ningzhu retreated to the bed corner against the wall, wrapping himself tightly in the blanket, curling into a small ball, trembling in fear. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan's heart shattered. She instinctively reached out to touch Ningzhu but saw her mechanical arm. Her heart trembled. She withdrew her hand and sat half upright on the bed. She slowly began to sing softly. Clouds fly, clouds fly. The song attracted Ningzhu, who mustered the courage and first peeked through a tiny gap in the blanket, then gradually widened the opening until finally, his big head poked out. He gazed blankly at Buddhist physician Meng Yayan, gradually confirming that it was indeed his mother. His eyes filled with tears, and as the song ended, he flung the covers aside, ran at full speed, and crashed into Meng Yayan's arms. He shouted, tears streaming down. Mom! My dear Zhuo, my good Zhuo. Meng Yayan hugged Ningzhuo, her hand stroking the back of his head, deeply moved, yet no tears fell. Now that mother and son had recognized each other, Meng Yayan no longer resisted the pain of separation, secretly caring for Ningzhu daily, and secretly taught him his studies. Primarily, she taught him mechanical techniques. One only knows the value when it's lost. Ningzhu stayed close to Meng Yayan, listening intently to every word she said. Mom, Mom, Ningzhu called gently. Meng Yayan came back to her senses. Ningzhu nestled in Meng Yayan's arms, looking up at her with innocent eyes, his voice childishly serious. Mom, you can't lose focus during lessons. Meng Yayan looked down, gently kissed Ningzhu on the forehead, and softly apologized, the gloom in her heart expanding secretly. She knew it was the Tao injury acting up. Initially, her spiritual nature hardly noticed it, but soon, slight hints of purple appeared. Now these hints were like strands. Scenes from the past began to repeat. Meng Yayan knew her time was once again running short. Her heart was filled with sadness and feeling lost. She didn't know how to explain the truth to Ningzhu. A sneaky figure appeared near the Ning mansion. Meng Yayan acted decisively. Thump! The sneaky figure crashed to the ground. Ningzhu witnessed this scene, his face turning pale, stammering, Mom, 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 you killed someone. Meng Yayan shook her head. He moved sneakily, carrying cultivation, likely a habitual thief. But he's not dead, just a light punishment. Seeing the figure passed out on the ground, Ningzhu expressed shock but also compassion. He's just a child like me. Mom, do you think if we leave him here, will he die from blood loss? Meng Yayan smiled slightly. Do you want to save him? Yes, Ningzhu nodded repeatedly. Thinking of her limited time left, Meng Yayan decided it was a good opportunity for Ningzhu to learn a profound lesson and replied, Then it's up to you. But since you want to save him, do it yourself. Don't rely on Mom. Ningzhu was overjoyed. Thank you, Mom. Allowed to do so, he quickly dragged son Lingtong into the courtyard. After a moment of daze, Meng Yayan turned around, only to find that she was no longer in the Fire Persimmon Immortal City, but had entered the interior of Fire Persimmon Mountain. She inspected her inner spiritual nature, and saw that deep within, her purple essence was proudly congealed into a mass. The injury has deepened again. With a soft sigh, she did not rush back to the Immortal City, but continued to delve into the mountain, entering the Lava Fairy Palace. Tao injuries erode memory. Given enough time, spiritual nature will also dissipate. Eventually, I'll revert to being a Buddhist physician and return to the Lava Fairy Palace on my own. From that point on, Meng Yayan actively reduced the time spent with Ningzhu, and through subtle hints, repeatedly suggested to Ningzhu the separation that was to come. Ningzhu curled up under the blankets, sobbing. Sun Lingtong approached the bedside, asking out of curiosity, "Why are you crying? Why aren't you asleep yet?" Little Ning Zhuo peeked his head out from the blankets. I miss my mother. I can't sleep. Whenever I can't sleep, my mom would sing to me. Can you sing for me?" Sun Lingtong, with resignation, sang hesitantly and haltingly. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan hid her form and watched this scene from behind, her heart filled with immense relief and joy. She had never expected that the person whom she had saved by chance, although coming from an evil sect, would have such a kind heart. The way Sun Lingtong secretly investigated the Ning family clan land and helped Ning Zhu fend off relatives' encroachments on the family's wealth were all witnessed by Meng Yayan. Time rushed by. "The night is deep. It's time to sleep properly, or you won't grow tall and your head will become dull, little Zhu." Meng Yayan appeared and reminded Ning Zhu, who was studying by lamplight, in a gentle voice. Ning Zhu looked up in delight. "Mom, you're back." He held up the book in his hands. "Mom, I'll cultivate mechanical techniques with all my might to help heal you. The last time you came back, your arm was injured." Meng Yayan's gaze faintly tightened, and her arm subconsciously moved backward. Her child had grown up and was more attentive than before. Her arm injury was incurred while slaughtering a flame demon beast in Fire Persimmon Mountain. At that time, she had lost her sanity with no memory, and acting on the preset motions of a Buddhist physician, guarded the lava fairy palace, and slaying demon beasts was among those actions. "My good child." Meng Yayan was deeply moved and involuntarily hugged Ning Zhu close. Ning Zhu clung to his mother. Though his body was that of a tough puppet, he felt an endless tenderness. He looked toward the lamp on the table, his eyes shimmering with hope, and muttered, "Mom, I'll become the most formidable mechanism cultivator in the world. I'll cure your silly illness and we'll always be together." Meng Yayan's body trembled. For a moment, boundless sorrow overwhelmed her and she struggled to hold it back. She clenched her eyes tightly, yet no tears fell. "Is this Siu Garden?" Little Zhuo looked up at the towering building, his heart filled with apprehension. But thinking of his mother, he still gritted his teeth and blended into the crowd. Hiding in a corner, he watched the mechanism cultivator on stage, doing his utmost to learn the art of puppet control. He had learned much about the theory of mechanisms, but truly needed a teacher's guidance for control. As Meng Yayan's condition deteriorated, she treasured the moments of lucid consciousness, unwilling to spend precious time teaching Ning Zhu these trivial matters. Ning Zhu frantically studied Li Leifeng's control techniques, his small fingers moving continuously inside his sleeves, his large eyes unwaveringly focused. His brain was active for so long that by the end of a puppet show, he was ravenous, his eyes blurry from hunger, his ears ringing. He picked up the pastries left over by the guests. It's so delicious." Eventually, Ning Zhu was adopted by his uncle Ning Zhu. He entered the school. Knowing his situation, his classmates taunted him. Wild child, big head freak, born by a mother, raised by none, an orphan, ha ha ha." Ning Zhu suddenly turned around, his eyes already bloodshot, fists clenched, and he growled, "I have a mother." The classmates were startled at first, but then mocked him with even greater ferocity. Ning Zhu let out a loud yell and charged, grappling with his classmates. He returned home with a bruised face. The parents of the classmates who fought with him came to blame him, and Uncle Ning Zi was nothing but appeasing. Turning back, Ning Zi sternly punished Ning Zhu, making him kneel as a penalty. "Quite the nerve you have, hitting a family elder's grandson." Ning Zhu knelt until evening without dinner, feeling so hungry he was dizzy. Ning Jai, who had indulged in a full meal, came up to him with a smirk, the leftover scent of food still on him, and proudly circled around him several times. "Mother, where are you?" Sob, sob, sob. Ning Zhu could only cry in his heart. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan walked through the tunnels of Fire Persimmon Mountain, each of her steps consistently measured as she moved with a consistently even posture, her gaze devoid of any emotion. Evening, after school. Ning Zhuo mingled with the crowd as he exited the schoolhouse. As he turned the corner of the street, his steps faltered when he saw a classmate, laughing joyfully while holding his parents' hands. "Big head freak!" Suddenly, a loud shout came from behind him. The next moment, Ning Zhuo was pushed over from behind. He rose angrily, ready to take revenge, only to see several classmates escaping with uninhibited laughter. For a moment, he didn't know which one to chase after. Once they were far enough away, those classmates stopped and mocked. "Motherless wild child, motherless big head freak." Ning Zhu roared and furiously pursued them. In the end, because he returned home too late, Wang Lan locked him out of the house. He steeled himself, holding back his rage, and turned to leave. He left Ning Zi's residence and hurried back to his own small yard. On the dark, deserted path, a familiar figure suddenly appeared. "Mother," Ning Zhu whispered, rushing joyfully towards the figure ahead of him. Buddhist physician Meng Yayan looked at him tenderly. She wore a thick, wide robe, black as ink, to facilitate her nighttime movements and to hide her injuries. Meng Yayan took the initiative to hold Ning Zhu's hand, chatting as they walked. "How is life at school?" "It's all good. The teachers are kind and my classmates like to play with me. Why not spend the night at your uncle's?" "I just suddenly missed home." Meng Yayan's heart was filled with sorrow. She was not ignorant of Ning Zhu's situation, but after much deliberation, she chose to observe from the sidelines. She would only intervene when Ning Zhu faced a serious crisis. It was all dark, and even while holding a wooden palm, Ning Zhu felt as if he was holding the whole world. However, Meng Yayan's voice gradually faded away, her footsteps became crisp, extremely rhythmic, and her gaze became vacant, as if she were a zombie. The tender maternal aura seemed to be swallowed up by the surrounding darkness. Ning Zhu looked down, acutely aware of the puppet's change. He grasped his mother's hand tightly, his eyes shining with tears as he choked out, "Mother, don't worry. I know. I am not a child without a mother's love."